Good Saturday evening. This is Shindo. Well, some major news coming out of Syria today. As I have been discussing, it's finally making its way into the mainstream news. This is from the Times of Israel. Syrian warplanes fly over flashpoint city despite U.S. warning. Regime forces ignore American concerns over strikes that may endanger its military advisors. So Syria is basically firing where American troops, that's what advisors are, folks. American troops are the Syrian government. That would be Assad. Assad, Syria. Syrian government warplanes were in the air again Saturday after the flashpoint northeastern city of Assad, despite a U.S. warning against new strikes that might endanger its military advisors. In another escalation of the 5-year war, regime planes that this week bombarded positions held by U.S.-backed Kurdish forces in the city fighting the Islamic State jihadist group. The unprecedented strike prompted the U.S.-led coalition to scramble aircraft to protect its special operation forces, helping the Kurdish fighters, warning the regime not to put the advisors on the ground at risk. Just a little aside here, so that you know who the Kurds are. The Kurds, they're sort of a nomadic group of people that are in the area that nobody likes. The Syrians don't like him. The Turks don't like him. The Iranians, the Iraqis, nobody in that area likes the Kurds. The U.S. is backing the Kurds against the Assad regime. Now, I just did a video on this yesterday. China and Russia and Iran are all backing the Assad regime. We have what's amounting to the beginnings of a war between the United States of America and Russia and China and Iran. This is not an exaggeration. It was apparently the first time the coalition scrambled jets in response to regime action, and possibly the closest call yet in terms of Syrian forces wounding American or coalition advisors. Throughout the night and into Saturday morning, regime warplanes took to the skies above Assad again, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a British-based monitoring group. It was not immediately clear whether the aircraft had carried out any bombing runs, as there were heavy artillery exchanges on the ground. Deadly clashes erupted between pro-government militia and the U.S.-backed Kurdish forces on Wednesday. The observatory said there has been no let-up in the fighting, which has left 41 people dead, 25 of them civilians, including 10 children. Quote, there were heavy clashes, artillery fire, and rocket attacks throughout the night and ongoing in the morning, Observatory head Ramim Abdel Rahman told AFP. Around two-thirds of Hassak, I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, forgive me. Around two-thirds of Hassak is controlled by Kurdish forces, while the rest is held by pro-government militia. The regime and Kurdish forces share a common enemy in ISIS, which controls most of the Euphrates Valley in the south, but there has been tensions between them and Hasik that have sometimes led to clashes. Here it is, Saturday night. We don't hear about this stuff until the evening, Saturday night, when no one's there to hear about it. Folks, they do this stuff all the time. The most important news that you're going to hear is going to be in the middle of the night on a weekend so that they can bury it. And let's see how the morning shows, which aren't news, they're infotainment at best. Let's see how the morning shows spin this one in the morning to show how evil the Syrian government is, which is what they've been trying to thrust down our throat for the past 5 years. Paying attention to things even towards midnight on a Saturday night for you here on my channel. Subscribe, comment, click like on my videos. If you want this information and you want it in a timely fashion and you don't want it with the bullshit coming down from the you-know-who controlled media. This is Shindo. Have a good day.
This is my kingdom come. This is my kingdom come.